Okay, so here we are in DCS. What we're doing today is we are looking at the virtual pilots, the 3D pilot model inside the cockpits of a bunch of third-party modules. Just updating a list on the Eagle Dynamics forums. They chose the worst company name for an abbreviation, didn't they? The goggles are fogging up a bit, but that's okay. All right. So let's look. So I'm going to try and go through one by one all the modules and just have a look. So we'll start with the A10A, as that's the first module in the list. So that is under Flaming Cliffs. Now, a lot of these, since I reinstalled recently on the gaming PC, a lot of these aren't going to have keybinds. So we'll go through the keybinds as well and just get everything up to date. There, at least for the show pilot body keybind. It's going to be the main one we're looking at. All right. So here we are in our A10C. We'll just wait till the textures load in. Now this is one of the ones where I'm going to go through and I am going to get at least my axis control set, because this is a jet I will probably be flying. But axis commands, and we'll reset category to default for mouse. Okay, now pitch. That should be on the center stick, the G940. And roll, same center stick. Rudder is our T rudders. Joy Z is probably the correct one, yep. And then we'll brake left, Joy Y, we'll brake right, Joy X. And I think we're going to invert those just as a safety thing. And at some point, I'm going to have to work out why that one is being noisy. So it's the right brake pedal is a bit noisy as I move my feet on and off it. Okay, good to know. And thrust left and right will be on the wind winger run. Thrust left. Thrust right. Now, we want a bit of... Is it sat? No, hang on. I need slider. Is it sat Y? No, sat X, isn't it? Nope. It's not working for us. All right. I suppose this is the other thing. We probably need to work out that they're not inverted too. So, nope, they're not inverted. So we will just get the force feedback on, the control leading on. So axis tune, it's a slider. We need a bunch of curve. No, we need a bunch of dead zone, don't we? That's what I need. Dead zone 18. Axis tune, it's slider. Dead zone 18, okay. And that will mean I don't have to push the throttles through to the afterburner detent to to use the throttles. Okay, now the other thing we needed to do, we will get fast with this as we go through, guys, is pilot body, show pilot body. Mouse button 5, I think I wanted. And there is no pilot body. But yeah, it's a nice jet. Good fun to fly, very simple. Because of course it is the simplified version, it's the Flaming Cliffs version. And next, we will take a look at the A10C, the actual module. So bear with me. Actually, I'll review this later. So A10C is the module we want, and of course the nice Tomcat here, very nice, and a nice Tomcat there. So let's look at the A10C, excuse me. This is the paid module, so we can sit at takeoff and not have to worry so much about flying the thing. Now, if you'll bear with me for a second, while everything loads, I have to get the fan on so my force feedback joystick doesn't overheat. Alright, so again, just waiting for everything to load. Same jet, just with the modernization package essentially. And so we will adjust the controlsies and mouse reset category to default, yes. Keyboard reset category to default, yes. And then in our access commands, we'll set mouse to default. And then we will search for show pilot body. Show controls indicator. No show pilot body, so maybe it's toggle. So let's search for pilot. No keybind for it at all. Okay.
This mission starts with your aircraft on the runway.
Thanks, Rex. So again, A10C does not feature the pilot. They haven't fixed that since last time. Not that we expected them to, but I didn't see anything about that. Let's quickly try A10C2. We'll jump in the cold and dark mission for this. Okay, so just jump into fly here. Everything's still loading.
This mission starts with a cold and dark aircraft.
And we will see if we can show pilot body. Let's search for pilots. Nope. So again, no, it doesn't have it. So we can just update the date on that because no change. So the next one, A4EC is a community mod, so it's not part of this. Next one, AH64. So we will do the runway start. So I know this one has a pilot cockpit. What I'm looking for is to assess whether it's got one of the old style pilot cockpits with the moving hands, but with the upper shoulders and the upper arms sort of locked in place, or whether when you're looking around, you get that upper shoulder movement. With a lot of the more modern VR headsets, you can see that out of the corner of your eye, and it becomes much more immersive. So we will do that. And we have the HMD up.
Welcome to Patasi Air Base. You are cleared to take off.
Okay.
You may fly the flight plane to Hawk Expedition Airfield or venture anywhere you wish. Your kneeboard card provides information on your flight plan, as well as a few practice targets you may encounter along the way. Good luck.
Okay, everything's loaded in, everything's looking nice. I'm not going to bother setting up the controls in this one because I need to go through and do a full-on control setup. So as I look around, I'm sort of looking around at the corner of my view, but no, the upper body's not moving. If I bound these controls, and I can probably do it with the key, have to... Okay, let's just bind some controls so I can show you what I'm talking about. So simply cyclic pitch and cyclic roll. Okay, so you can see the arm moves with the joystick as I'm moving the cyclic pitch around, and the same would be with the collective. As I raise and lower the collective, the hand will move with it. What's not happening is as I'm moving my body around, you guys probably can't see this, but the straps and the shoulders aren't moving. So that's what I'm looking for there. So this goes in the green category. And also we do have our gunner shown. That's another important thing to test. We can see him and that's all looking good. If I had someone in the front seat, we'd probably see him looking about, which would be cool. And yeah, and we've got that same problem the Hornet has where you can lean around and see your own helmet, which is annoying, but we'll learn to deal with that by not leaning outside the box where that happens. So this goes in the green category, the Apache. And the next module on the list is the Vegan. And we'll do a cold start with this one. I believe this one is still in green category. I don't think Heat Blur have gone ahead and implemented the, life support gear and harness movement yet. At least they have not in the Tomcat, which I'm more familiar with. Okay, so we're in our Vegan. Just wait for everything to load. Oh yeah, that's right, that's the ejection seat arming handle, isn't it? So you can probably see, as I turn my head left and right, the life support gear, like the flotation device, is not moving. So when we get to the F-15E, you will see that moving, and that's much better, much more immersive thing. But once again, we have a pilot. It's just the old school pilot that gets it into the green category. So that was the Vegan, and moving on to the Harrier. So let's get to the ready on the ramp. So like I said, I don't have any of the controls bound for this one, though once again, this is one I'm going to go in and bind fully because it's a good jet that I like flying. And again, I think this is in the same category as the Vegan. Yes, it is. So it's kind of, with the Razbam stuff, there's the older stuff like the Mirage and the Harrier, where they've got really detailed, lovely, just really nice pilot models. But again, they don't have that movement that you get with the F-18 model and with the F-15E model. So we will next take a look at the 109 Kilo, or Kurfürst, I guess. And we'll be cold and dark for this. I expect all of the World War II modules, with the exception of the I-16 and the Mosquito, to have green category pilots. And again, these categories are detailed in the document that's linked in. If you click through the links, ooh, there's McKenopy. Yeah, if you click through the links.
This mission starts with a cold and dark aircraft parked on the ramp. You may fly the planned route or just explore the area. There are no threats.
So again, reasonably detailed pilot. The hands would move with the stick and throttle, but the straps and the upper body aren't moving as I move my head around. So green category for the Kurfürst. And what is next? The C101. This, I believe, is green category as well. So we will take a look. I might even have controls bound for this one, we'll see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so hello. I don't have controls bound. We've got the straps don't move with your body movement. Now, if I go to adjust controls and we set our keyboard, reset that to default. This is so we can jump in the back seat. And we will do the same with the mouse, just so I don't forget later. Now I can jump to the back seat, and we can see we also have the part in the back seat, and we do have our crew member in the front seat, so we can see the other crew member, which is another good test. So this, again, is green category. Not getting those straps moving around as I turn my shoulders, so that's a bit less immersive, but still good. So the Kristen Eagle, I did fly this one reasonably recently, so I know we can see the passenger. But again, yep, we can see our passenger, can see our pilot. The hands move with the controls, but wait. No. I don't think that is the shoulders moving. Or maybe it is. Hang on. No, I think that's just a feature of the... Lots of stuff happening. Alright, so that's a green category again. Quite nicely done, that one. Which you'd want it to be, considering how close you are to the guy in the front seat. Now, perhaps a little controversially, the Tomcat is going to be in the green category. Because the pilot and the Rio are really good. And when you're looking from the Rio seat, watching your pilot move around, that's really good. The issue is, and I'll show you, hopefully you'll be able to see it, when I move my head around, my arm, so my right arm, my right shoulder should be moving back as I turn my head around, and it's not, so that's green category. If I go to Rio, same thing, my hands aren't moving as I move around. If I look forward, I can see the pilot, and if the pilot looks around, it's very cool. It's very immersive. How Heat Blur have done this, it's just, in the first person model, it's not quite up there. It's leaning left and right, your hands don't seem to move with you. And when we jump into the F-15E, you'll see what I am talking about there. So that's the F-14, green category, really solid, really good module, I like it. Now this is going to be the first one where we can see what I'm talking about with that upper body movement. And it's something which, obviously I've cropped it down for you guys, so you might not get the full effect. But as we go to VR headsets with more field of view, you see more of this stuff out of the corner of your eye, and it just does help the immersion. So let's get the pilot in. There we go. You can probably see this here. As I turn, you can see my shoulders turning. I hope you can see that, but yeah. So the shoulders turn as you turn. And the same from the back seat. If I turn, you can see my hands are moving around the controllers. And if I hang on, yeah, you probably just can't quite see this, but as I move away, I can see just out of the corner of my eye, I can see my hand coming off the controller to grab the rail, which is very cool. So, F-15E in the gold category. I suppose, actually, we should fly again just so I can properly confirm we can see the pilot from the back seat. Or it might even be easier once I get... Oh, actually, he's there anyway, but I'll get my model up. I can see his model. Everything moves around nicely. It's all good. Okay. Okay, what is next? Next is the F-16C. I'm leaving this because we're getting an update with the next patch. So we'll have a look at that separately. F-22 is mod F5E. Takeoff, I guess. So last time I looked at it, the F5E had the old-fashioned pilot model. So very nice, very good, but the shoulders don't move with us. What we might do just to make this easier to test is we'll just set ourselves a bit further forward. Yep, no moving shoulders, but nice jet. Actually, have they redone the panel? No, it's still the same panel, but it is a nice jet. All right. So that is green category. F-86, again, I expect green category, so we'll quickly check that out. Okay, here we go. Again, my head position's not quite right, but I'm just doing that so we can see that the shoulders aren't moving. But otherwise, very nice. So green category again, and I love that American Eagle helmet. That is cool. Green category for the F-86. F-18C. This one is a gold category now. It also features the pilot knee board repeated on the virtual pilot's left knee, so we'll demonstrate that functionality as well, since we mentioned that in the document. So again, as I move around, my torso's moving around on the virtual pilot, which is super nice. Now with this knee board, you can see I can flick through my knee board pages. Like for stuff like this, where I've set it up to be used this way, it's totally readable. For some of the default stuff, like the approach plates, it's a bit more difficult. But yeah, even with some of these checklists, because I know what it says, it can guide me along and it's fine. So yeah, all good. This one gets a gold, and a note that it supports the knee board repeated on the pilot model. So we did the A10, so let's look at the F-15C next. Here we are. This one does have a newer cockpit, which is nice. I don't have control span for this. That's disappointing. I will need to get that sorted, so we may as well do it now. So reset mouse to default. We need... This is all but access commands, so we need keyboard. Wait. Reset to default. Then we need our access commands. We will set our mouse to default. Tell you what, I'm not actually gonna bother doing all of this now. We will just do the show pilot body, which we need Come on. Left control mouse button 5. Okay. I really thought there was a pilot body in this one. Show pilot body. Left control mouse button 5 or right shift and P. Right shift P. No, the F-15 does not have a pilot body. I must be misremembering or just getting too used to seeing my face in the mirror. So that goes in red category. F-15C, MiG-29, I can't remember. So we'll find out together. It's not looking promising. So adjust controls. Let's just quickly go to pilot. Show pilot body. I'm just going to set that now. There's no pilot body in the MiG-29. Red category. Now we move on to the Su-25. This is the Flaming Cliffs 3 Su-25, or the one you can buy as a separate module, and I can already see we got a pilot's body here. And it's an old style one, and that's fine. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this jet, though it looks like they've redone the cockpit recently. It looks a lot nicer than it used to. So maybe this one's worth coming back to for a bit at some stage. Not that I recall it being that fun a plane to fly. Now, Su-27, and then the Su-33 will be the last of the Flaming Cliffs ones. Alright, so already we've got the pilot model in there. Okay, now this kneeboard is not interactive, it's just drawings, and yep, the shoulders don't move. So, a green pilot body. The mirrors are very disconcerting when you're coming from aisle 2, where the mirrors work like actual mirrors. The mirrors here, they've just got an image painted on the mirror. Like, you see the same image with both eyes, whereas with aisle 2, you see a different image through each eye, through the mirror, which is how it should be. And the same with the Su-33.
Starts in your air.
Haven't modelled that hand very well, anyway. It's an older module. So what is next? The 190A8. This didn't have a pilot model last time I checked it. All right, so 190A8. It's not looking promising. We will go and we will search for pilot body. Show pilot. We will get our show pilot set up. Nope, no pilot. So the 190A8 remains in the red category, same as we last checked it in January. 190D9, this one does have a pilot, if I recall correctly. A bit longer to load now that we've chopped up the memory. Okay, so we do have a pilot. Doesn't have the moving shoulders.
Cold and dark aircraft parked on the ramp. You may fly the planned route, or.
And if I just reset that category to default, we can see I've got a kneeboard up. And it's not repeated on the pilot, so there we go. So green category for the FW190 Dora 9. Next we have the I-16. I believe this did not have a pilot, so it used to be in red category. We'll see how it is now. All right, not looking promising. So we'll adjust controls, we will search. No, there's not even a bind for pilots. Show, stick show. No, show controls indicator, no. Okay, so no pilot body for the I-16. But it is a tiny little plane, which is very fun to fly. So I will be rebinding my controls for this one. This is a bit of fun. So red category for the I-16. The next is the Jeff. This did not have a pilot body last time I checked it in January. I'm not sure how much work they're still doing on the Jeff. I think it's pretty well feature complete, so this might be all we ever get from it. And, oh, it's raining. If I could remember how to close the canopy. I need electrical power, don't I? Battery? There we go. Might be nicer. Lock that. Get the battery off. Okay. This looks better than I remember it. I think there were a couple of holes in the geometry back in the past, but it's looking good now. I just love that rain effect as well. It's so good. Anyway, let's adjust controls. It almost looks a bit soapy, doesn't it? Anyway, we will search for pilot, show pilot body. We will bind that to our mouse. And we will spam that keybind and no pilot turns up. So Jeff remains in the red category, and I'd say it will be there forever. Car 50. This was in red category. It's weird how things like the F-18, we get pilot models, it all looks really good. But things like the Car 50, something that Eagle Dynamics started with in this sim, hasn't even got the SU-25 pilot in here, which would be fine. That would be fine. Okay, we will adjust controls. We will find our pilots. Show pilot body. We will... Come on. There we are. Nope. No pilot body for us. Alright, and let's reset our view because I feel like I'm sitting very low now. There we go. Yeah. Right, so the Car 50 stays in the red category, as it has been ever since it was released as the first DCS module, I believe, or maybe the A10C was the first, but nonetheless, it's been a while. It's the Car 50 version 3, which is the one that you can buy now, but we'll test it for completeness. Probably should have just tested this one, to be honest. Again, not looking promising. If we go to adjust controls, yes, it's a different control set. That's slightly annoying. I feel like they could have just doubled up on the control sets. We will do that, we will do that, we will do that, and no, it is not good to go. So quit out. Alright, so the next contender is the L39. This one, if I remember correctly, does have a pilot body of the old type, so it will go in the green category. Yep, there we go. Now this kneeboard does not do anything. I need to just move my view a bit so we can really feel that those shoulders aren't doing anything for us. Hello, it's me in the mirror. Again, we have a backseater, so I might have to just adjust controls. And if we reset category default for mouse and reset category default for keyboard, we can jump in the back seat. And we have our pilot here, again without the movement, and I can see the pilot in the front. So this one goes in green category. All good. So the 2000, one of my more preferred jets. Again, I think this has a green category pilot. It's got a very detailed pilot module, but just lacks that shoulder movement, which we're now starting to see out of the corner of our eyes in our newer headsets. So let's give this a quick whirl. So again, lovely detail on the pilot module. Pilot model, sorry. Where's park brake? Oh, where's my cursor? It's the real question. There it is. Just get that park brake on. Okay, so again, the shoulders aren't moving, the life support gear and the straps aren't moving. So lovely detailed pilot, green category. And one thing I didn't show, ooh, headset just died. Right, we are going off comms for a minute. Yep, the headset died, so we're going to have to restart DCS. So let us just go back there for you guys. So I think DCS has even crashed. Yes, DCS has crashed. Okay. So we'll get that back up again in a second once everything's finished closing out. So we're a good way through. Still running according to Steam. Might restart. Where is my cursor? Interesting. I wonder if I just lost. It would be set up USB game controllers. All of my controllers just fell offline. That is frustrating. Okay, give me a second. So what I'm doing is I'm just plugging this USB hub in, trying to get everything to be redetected. What I probably should have done is restart the gaming PC. So I got the reconnected sound, but not any controllers in the game controllers thing. All right, we are going to do a restart on the gaming PC, so bear with me. Hopefully these controllers will come back. Otherwise, that might be it for the day and me ordering a new USB hub. This is something that happens far too often for comfort. Okay, PC's coming back up. I've got lights in the controllers now. Okay. Let's see if we can get mixed reality back up. Yeah, it seems like my controllers are back. Let's just check. Set up USB game controllers. And they're all there. Yep, they're all there. Okay. So, I'll just be off comms a second while I get the headset back on. Just bringing DCS Worlds back up now. It's going to take a second to start, and I need to restart OBS as well. There we are. Yes. And we'll run normally. Okay, DCS is coming up. Okay, so this problem is bigger than I had previously anticipated. I'm going to call the stream here for now. We'll finish this up another day. Probably need a new USB hub. All fun and games. Anyway, have a good one. Catch you all later.